sponsored by Skillshare. Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to attempt making the smallest flipbook ever made. What I'm going to do first is I need to make a regular size flipbook to figure out the animation, and then I'll try making a smaller miniature version of that. So regular size first, then miniature size. So let's go ahead and I'll start the time lapse and see how it goes. Okay, so what I'm going to animate is the floss dance. This idea for doing a tiny flipbook was partly inspired by a video that Casey Golden did. In one of her videos, she did a challenge to see how small she could draw, and it was really incredible to watch. So I'll put a link to her channel in the video description. I also wanted to do this because I've been just obsessed with miniatures ever since I was little. In fact, one of my earliest memories is I was at a babysitter's house. I was probably like 3 years old, and I remember sitting there on the floor playing with these little toy Smurf figures, and one of the Smurf figures was holding this little plastic rubbery hamburger, and there was something about this teeny tiny miniature hamburger. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I just wanted it, and so I stole it. I was like 3 years old, so you gotta cut me a little slack, but don't steal, it's bad. But I really love that little hamburger and still have it. Okay, so I think the regular size floss dance is done. Let's check this out. You know what I need for this is some music. Okay, that's better. So there are a couple things I want to change about this. The way that I have the body drawn in outline right now, I know it's going to be probably too difficult to draw on a really tiny scale. So I'm going to fill in the body with black. I'll just make it a silhouette. And then I also want to thicken up the legs because right now it kind of looks like a weird stick leg alien. So one thing, since I'm turning this into just a silhouette, I still need to keep it readable when the arms are either in front or behind the body. So I think if I leave a little white line to just sort of highlight the arm, I think that will help. Okay, let's see how that worked. It's almost like Slender Man doing the floss dance or something. So now we'll do a smaller version, and if this next smaller version works, then I'll go even smaller after that. Okay, so for this smaller version, I'm taking my normal flipbook paper. I'm going to cut it into smaller pieces, and then hopefully I can replicate the animation. For these small pages, to make it easier to line them up, I'm putting gaffer's tape on my light pad, and then I have these edges that I can just bump the paper up against and just keep them lined up each time. That makes it easier. I'm going to do this one in 2 passes. First I'll go through and I'll do just the simple stickman version in pencil, and then I'll go back after that and I'll do all the ink. It is way harder to keep the little white highlight, just the little details at this scale, but I think it's working okay. I guess we'll find out. So that's actually not bad. That works pretty well. But it's not small enough. It's time to go smaller. Okay, so if I'm going to go smaller, I'm going to need thinner paper to be able to flip it. So how small can I go with the paper and still actually be able to draw in pen? Okay, well, let's just go nuts. I'll try this size. This is really tiny. Alright, well, I'm doing the same number of pages, but the problem is that even though this is just normal printer paper, it's too thick at this scale. So I'm going to need to find some even thinner paper. I'm also thinking I might want a magnifying glass. Let's go to the store. so I went to the office supply store and back, and they didn't have any normal printer paper that was thinner than what I had. So I wandered all around the store, and luckily I found this little sales order notepad. And each of the white sheets in this notepad are super thin, so I think this might work perfectly. I hope. My only worry is that because it's so thin that it might not flip well. But let me try this and we'll see. So I'm gonna go for it. Wish me luck, because this is tiny. What I'm doing first is tracing the head and feet onto each page so that I can be sure that each drawing stays lined up. Then I'll go back after that and do all the body animation. I'm having trouble drawing even with this like teeny tiny .03 pen. So one thing, I'm not going to check my animation along the way for this tiny flipbook until it's all done, and then once it's all done, I'll put it together and we'll see if it works. And hopefully it will actually look like a little guy doing the floss dance and not just a little inky mess jittering around. Okay, I think I'm done drawing, and I'm really scared right now that I'm going to sneeze or something. I had no idea stacking these pages up would be such a delicate thing. Seriously, if I sneeze right now. Okay, I don't even know how I'm going to get these lined up well enough to even flip. Like, how am I supposed to, like get them all kind of, how you take a deck of cards and you, tap them to get the end all lined. Like, how am I supposed to do that? I feel like my fingers are, the most gigantic things right now. I think I've got it. I'm so scared I'm going to drop these right now. Let's test it out. This is kind of difficult. Okay, I have an idea. I think I should bind it on one end. Okay, I waited for a while, so now it's bound. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if I can actually do this. This is a little crazy. So there you go, guys. The smallest flipbook ever. I'd like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video.